Hello, welcome to the Intellectual Minds Hub. In this video, we will see that why Afghanistan is called the graveyard of empires. The Achaemenid Empire, also known as the First Persian Empire, was an ancient empire that existed from around 550 to 330 BCE. It was founded by Cyrus the Great and played a crucial role in shaping the history of the ancient world. The Achaemenid Empire was founded by Cyrus the Great in the mid-6th century BCE. Cyrus was a skilled military strategist and ruler who managed to unite various Persian tribes and conquer the Medes, creating a powerful empire. The empire expanded rapidly under Cyrus and his successors, reaching from Asia Minor to the Indus River Valley in India. Cyrus is often remembered for his policy of tolerance toward different cultures, languages, and religions within his empire. One of the most notable rulers of the Achaemenid Empire was Darius I. He further centralized the administration, creating a network of provinces called satrapies, each governed by a satrap. Darius also established the Royal Road, a complex network of roads and postal stations that facilitated communication and trade across the empire. The Achaemenid Empire left behind a rich cultural legacy. It is best known for the construction of monumental architectural structures, including the city of Persepolis, which served as the ceremonial capital. The architecture featured intricate carvings and impressive palaces that showcased the empire's wealth and power. Despite its achievement, the Achaemenid Empire faced challenges. In 334 BCE, Alexander the Great launched his campaign to conquer Persia. He defeated the Persian forces and captured the Achaemenid capital Persepolis in 330 BCE. This marked the end of Achaemenid Empire's rule, as Alexander Empire took its place. The Mauryan Empire was one of the most significant and influential empires in the ancient Indian history. It was founded by Chandragupta Maurya and existed from around 322 to 185 BCE. The Mauryan Empire was founded by Chandragupta Maurya, who overthrew the Nanda dynasty and established his rule in Magadha, a region in modern-day Bihar, India. Chandragupta's advisor, Chanakya, played a crucial role in his rise to power. With a combination of military conquest and strategic alliance, Chandragupta managed to expand his dominion. Chandragupta's grandson, Ashoka the Great, is often considered the most famous Mauryan ruler. Ashoka inherited an empire that had expanded across most of the Indian subcontinent, covering present-day India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and parts of Nepal. However, Ashoka is best known for his conversion to Buddhism after the brutal Kalinga War. He transformed his rule to prioritize moral values, non-violence, and the welfare of his subjects. Ashoka's reign was marked by the issuance of numerous edicts inscribed on rocks and pillars across his empire. The Mauryan Empire is known for its sophisticated administrative and governance system. The empire was divided into provinces ruled by governors. Ashoka established a network of officials responsible for various aspects of governance, including justice, revenue collection, and public welfare. The decline of Mauryan Empire began after Ashoka's death, and the empire eventually fragmented into smaller kingdoms and regional powers. The last Mauryan ruler, Brihadatha, was assassinated in 185 BCE, marking the end of the empire. The fragmented post-Mauryan period witnessed the rise of various regional dynasties. The Greco-Bactrian Kingdom was a Hellenistic state that existed in the region of modern-day Afghanistan and Central Asia. It emerged after the conquest of Alexander the Great and was characterized by the fusion of Greek and local cultures. After the death of Alexander the Great in 323 BCE, his empire was divided among his generals. Seleucus I Nicator, one of Alexander's successors, established the Seleucid Empire in the western part of his territories. Meanwhile, a Greek general named Didotus I declared independence in the eastern region known as Bactria. establishing the Greco-Bactrian Kingdom around 256 BCE. The Greco-Bactrian rulers attempted to integrate Greek and local cultures, resulting in a unique cultural census. The Greco-Bactrian Kingdom occupied a strategic position between the Seleucid Empire to the west and Mauryan Empire to the south in the Indian subcontinent. There were interactions, both diplomatic and military, between these empires. Some Greco-Bactrian kings even engaged in marriages with Indian princes from the Mauryan dynasty. The Greco-Bactrian kingdom faced challenges from external forces and internal disputes. It gradually declined over the centuries due to pressure from the expanding Parthian Empire and the nomadic tribes of Central Asia. Internal conflicts further weakened the kingdom. The Greco-Bactrian kingdom ultimately came to an end in the 2nd century BCE. The Kushan Empire was a Central Asian empire that played a significant role in the history of Afghanistan during the 1st to 3rd centuries. It encompassed large parts of modern-day Afghanistan, as well as regions of Pakistan, India, Central Asia, and China. The Kushan Empire was founded by Hujula Cataphyses in the 1st century, centered in the region of Bactria, which is located in the present-day northern Afghanistan and southern Uzbekistan. The Kushans gradually expanded their territory by annexing various neighboring regions. One of the significant aspects of the Kushan Empire was its ability to create a cultural synthesis that combined elements of Greek, Persian, Indian, and local Central Asian cultures. This cultural blend is often referred to as Gandhara art, which is characterized by its fusion of Hellenistic and Indian artistic traditions. During the rule of Kanishka the Great, the Kushan Empire became a significant patron of Buddhism. Kanishka convened the fourth Buddhist council in Kashmir, which led to the compilation of important Buddhist texts. The empire's influence played a significant role in the spread of Buddhism into Central Asia, China, and beyond. By the 3rd century, the Kushan Empire started to weaken due to various factors, including internal conflicts and external pressures from the Sasanian Empire in Persia and Gupta Empire in India. The empire's decline led to the fragmentation of its territory into smaller kingdoms and dynasties. The Sasanian Empire, also known as the Sassanid Empire, was a major Persian empire that asserted its influence over Afghanistan during its existence from around 224 to 651 CE. The empire played a significant role in shaping the history and culture of the region. The Sasanian Empire was established by Ardashir I, who overthrew the Parthian Empire and founded the Sasanian dynasty. The empire extended its rule to encompass a vast territory, including Persia, Mesopotamia, and parts of Central Asia, including regions of present-day Afghanistan. The Sasanian Empire sought to promote Persian culture, language, and traditions. This led to a process of Persianization in the regions it controlled, including Afghanistan. The Sasanian Empire faced challenges from internal strife and external pressures, particularly from the expanding Islamic Arab forces. In the mid-7th century, the Arab Muslim forces began their conquest of Persia and Central Asia, including Afghanistan. The Sasanian Empire eventually collapsed, marking the end of its rule in the region. During the 7th to 9th century, Afghanistan came under the influence of various Islamic caliphates as part of the broader Muslim conquest and expansion. The region played a significant role in the spread of Islam and establishment of Muslim rule, like the Rashidun Caliphate, also known as the rightly guided caliphate, was established after the death of Prophet Muhammad. It consisted of the first four caliphs, Abu Bakr, Umar, Usman, and Ali. During the reign of the first three caliphs, Muslim armies embarked on military campaigns known as Rashidun conquest. The region that is known as Afghanistan was gradually brought under Muslim rule during these conquests. After the Rashidun period, the Umayyad Caliphate took over, establishing its control over much of the Muslim world, including Afghanistan. During the Umayyad period, Afghanistan was a part of the larger Islamic polity, with the city of Kabul becoming a prominent center of governance. Abbasid Caliphate succeeded the Umayyad Caliphate and continued to influence Afghanistan. The city of Herat became an important center of learning, culture, and trade. The region benefited from the trade networks that connected it to other parts of the Islamic world. These Islamic caliphates and empires played a pivotal role in shaping Afghanistan's history, culture, and religious landscape. The spread of Islam, the establishment of Islamic governance, and the cultural exchange that took place during these periods had a lasting impact on the region's identity and development. The Ghaznavid Empire was a significant medieval Muslim dynasty that ruled over parts of Afghanistan and other regions in the Indian subcontinent from around 977 to 1186 CE. It has its capital in the city of Ghazni, which is located in present-day Afghanistan. The Ghaznavid Empire was founded by Raptigin, a Turkish slave commander, who seized control of the city of Ghazni in 977. His successor, Mahmud Ghaznavi, is perhaps the most famous ruler of the dynasty. Under Mahmud's leadership, the empire expanded its territories through a series of military campaigns that reached into present-day Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran, and northern India. The Ghaznavid rulers were notable for their patronage of art, literature, and culture. The court of Ghaznavi became a center of learning, attracting scholars and poets and artists. Mahmud Ghaznavi is particularly known for his frequent military campaigns into northern India. He sought to accumulate wealth and resources from his Indian conquest, often targeting Hindu temples for their treasures. His invasions laid to the foundation for later Muslim rule in the Indian subcontinent. The Ghaznavid Empire began to decline in the late 11th century due to internal conflicts, external pressures, and the emergence of new powers in the region. The empire eventually fragmented, and various Ghaznavid rulers established independent domains in different parts of the empire. The Gori Empire was a medieval Muslim dynasty that had significant influence in parts of present-day Afghanistan and beyond from around 879 to 1215 CE. The Goris played a crucial role in shaping the history of the region and left a lasting impact on Afghanistan's culture and political landscape. The Gori dynasty originated in the War region of central Afghanistan. They began as local rulers and gradually expanded their power through military campaigns and alliances. The dynasty's rise was marked by the efforts of individuals like Alaptagin and later Muhammad ibn Suri. The Ghoris expanded their influence by conquering neighboring territories and cities. They established control over parts of Afghanistan, including the cities of Ghazni and Herat. Their expansion also extended into the areas of present-day Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India, where they had a significant impact. The Gori Empire began to decline in the early 13th century due to internal conflicts and external pressures. The rise of Khwarizmi Empire and the Mongol invasions contributed to their downfall. The Ghoris were eventually replaced by other parts in Afghanistan and the surrounding regions. The Khwarizmian Empire was a medieval Central Asian empire that held sway over parts of present-day Afghanistan and surrounding regions from around 1077 to 1221 CE. The empire played a significant role in the history of the broader region and had interactions with Afghanistan during its existence. The Khwarizmian Empire was founded by Khwarizm Shahs who hailed from the region of Khwarizm. The empire expanded its territory through military conquest, annexing parts of Central Asia and Iran, which included areas that overlap with present-day Afghanistan. One of the most significant events in Khwarizmian Empire history was its conflict with the Mongol Empire. The Khwarizmian Shah Muhammad took clash with Genghis Khan and the Mongols in the early 13th century. This confrontation led to the brutal Mongol invasion of the empire, resulting in widespread destruction and upheaval. The Mongol invasion marked the downfall of the Khwarizmian Empire. The empire was devastated and its territories were incorporated into the Mongol Empire. The Khwarizmians' defeat by the Mongols had far-reaching consequences for the region's political landscape. The Timurid Empire, also known as the Timurid dynasty, was a significant medieval empire that held sway over parts of Central Asia, including Afghanistan, from around 1370 to 1507 CE. The empire was founded by Temur and played a crucial role in shaping the history and culture of the region. Temur established the Timurid Empire after a series of conquests. His empire extended over vast territories, including present-day Iran, Central Asia, and Afghanistan. Temur's campaign brought him into contact with various local rulers and dynasties in the region. After Temur's death, his empire was divided among his descendants, leading to the fragmentation of the Timurid Empire. The various Timurid rulers established their domains in different regions, contributing to a diverse and often independent Timurid legacy. The Timurid period was a golden age for Persian literature. Renowned poets such as Rumi and Jami were associated with this era. The Timurid rulers' patronage of literature and poetry contributed to the development of Persian as literary language. The Timurid Empire gradually declined due to internal conflicts and invasions from neighboring powers. By the early 16th century, the empire had fragmented into smaller principalities. The Babur, a descendant of Temur, established the Mughal Empire in India. The Mughal Empire, one of the most prominent empires in the South Asian history, also extended its influence into the parts of the present-day Afghanistan during its existence from the 16th to the 19th century. The Mughal Empire, founded by Babur, a descendant of Temur and Genghis Khan, left a significant impact on Afghanistan history and culture. Babur, who initially hailed from the Fergana Valley in the present-day Uzbekistan, established the Mughal Empire in India after the First Battle of Panipat in 1526. Babur's descendants, particularly Akbar the Great, maintained an interest in Afghanistan and sought to consolidate their control of the region. The Mughal rulers had ancestral ties to Afghanistan through Babur's heritage. Babur himself was born in Andijan, and he considered Kabul, Afghanistan, to be an important part of his empire. The control of various Afghan territories by the Mughal was not always stable. Different regions were subject to revolts and conflicts, as local Afghan rulers and tribes sometimes resisted Mughal rule. Afghanistan's geography and ethnic diversity posed challenges to Mughal governance. Shah Jahan, one of most well-known Mughal emperors, exerted efforts to maintain control over Afghanistan. By the mid-18th century, the Mughal Empire began to weaken due to a combination of factors including internal strife, external invasions, and the rise of regional powers. Afghanistan too experienced significant political changes. The Durrani Empire, also known as the Afghan Empire, was a significant historical state that emerged in the 18th century and played a pivotal role in shaping Afghanistan history and identity. Founded by Ahmad Shah Durrani, a Pashtun leader, the empire had a notable impact on the region and its interactions with the neighboring powers. The Durrani Empire was founded by Ahmad Shah Durrani, a charismatic and capable leader who hailed from the Pashtun Abdali tribe. Ahmad Shah Durrani's leadership led to the consolidation of various Afghan tribes into a cohesive state. He skillfully navigated tribal dynamics and formed alliances to unite his people. Ahmad Shah Durrani chose Kabul as the capital of his empire, establishing it as a center of the power and governance. Under Ahmad Shah's rule, the Durrani Empire expanded its territory through military campaigns and diplomacy. The empire's border included parts of present-day Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran, and Central Asia. The Durrani Empire was situated in a region of geopolitical importance, leading to interactions with various neighboring powers. Ahmad Shah Durrani navigated diplomatic relations with Mughal Empire, the Persian Safavids, and Central Asian states to maintain a balance of power. One of Ahmad Shah Durrani's most significant military accomplishments was his victory over the Marathas in the Third Battle of Panipat in 1761. This battle had far-reaching consequences for the Indian subcontinent. Following Ahmad Shah Durrani's death in 1772, his empire faced challenges of secession and internal divisions. His successors struggled to maintain the unity he had achieved. Over time, different regions and tribal leaders asserted greater autonomy, leading to the fragmentation of the empire. In summary, the Durrani Empire under Ahmad Shah Durrani's leadership represented a significant phase in Afghanistan history. It marked a period of Afghan unity and consolidation during a time of regional turmoil, leaving a lasting legacy in nation's identity and historical narrative. The Sikh Empire, also known as the Sikh Kingdom of Punjab, was a significant historical state in South Asia and that extended its influence into parts of the present-day Afghanistan during the early 19th century. The empire was founded by Maharaja Ranjit Singh and played a notable role in the region's history. The Sikh Empire was founded by Maharaja Ranjit Singh, a charismatic and capable leader of the Sikh community. He rose to power in the early 19th century and established a strong and centralized Sikh state centered in the Punjab region of the present-day Pakistan and India. Ranjit Singh's ambitions extended beyond the borders of the Punjab, leading to interactions with Afghanistan. He sought to establish control over strategic areas, including parts of Afghanistan, to secure his empire's borders and resources. Ranjit Singh's forces captured the Afghanistan city of Peshawar in 1888 and annexed it into the Sikh Empire. Peshawar's strategic location was crucial for controlling trade routes and maintaining security. In 1839, the Sikh Empire briefly occupied Kabul after the assassination of the Afghan ruler Dost Muhammad Khan. However, the Sikhs' rule over Kabul was short-lived and marked by instability. The Sikh Empire interactions with Afghanistan were marked by both cooperation and conflict. While there were periods of tense relations and military engagements, there were also diplomatic efforts and alliances. The Sikh occupation of Kabul led to widespread discontent among the Afghan population. A popular uprising known as the First Anglo-Afghan War erupted in 1841, leading to the eventual expulsion of the Sikh forces from Afghanistan. The Sikh Empire's decline was hastened by internal conflicts, secession struggles, and external pressures. Following the death of Maharaja Ranjit Singh in 1839, the empire faced challenges that eventually led to its disintegration by the mid-19th century. The British influence and involvement in Afghanistan have had a significant impact on the country's history and geopolitics. The interaction between Britain and Afghanistan was shaped by a complex interplay of interests, power dynamics, and strategies. The term Great Game refers to the strategic rivalry and competition between the British Empire and the Russian Empire for influence and control over Central Asia, including Afghanistan, during the 19th century. The British were concerned about the Russian expansion southward towards British India, and Afghanistan became a buffer state in this geopolitical contest. The British-Afghan relationship was punctuated by two major conflicts known as the Anglo-Afghan Wars. The First Anglo-Afghan War was triggered by British concerns about Russian influence in Afghanistan. A British force invaded Afghanistan to replace the ruler, leading to a disastrous retreat and heavy casualties. The Second Anglo-Afghan War began with British attempts to impose a resident in Kabul, which the Afghan ruler Sher Ali Khan resisted. The conflict resulted in the British capturing Kabul, installing a new ruler, and establishing greater control over Afghanistan's foreign state. The Treaty of Gandamark marked the end of the Second Anglo-Afghan War. It established British control of Afghanistan's foreign relations and required Afghanistan to cede certain territories to the British-controlled Raj, including the Khyber Pass and the parts of the tribal territories. Following the Second Anglo-Afghan War, Abdur Rahman Khan came to power and ruled Afghanistan as its Amir. He maintained a delicate balance between the British and Russian interests, seeking to secure his country's independence while navigating the competing pressures. During Abdur Rahman Khan's rule, the Durrani Line Agreement was signed between the British India and Afghanistan, demarcating the border between the two territories. The agreement resulted in the creation of the Durrani Line, which is now the modern border between Afghanistan and Pakistan. Afghanistan remained neutral during the World War I, but the war's aftermath had repercussions for the region. The Third Anglo-Afghan War saw Afghan forces briefly capture the city of Peshawar, signaling Afghanistan's effort to assert its sovereignty. The British influence in Afghanistan began to wane as the 20th century progressed. Afghanistan pursued a policy of non-alignment during the Cold War, maintaining relations with both Western and Eastern Bloc countries. The British influence in Afghanistan has left a lasting impact on the country's political and territorial configuration. The Durrani Line established during this period remains a contentious issue between Afghanistan and Pakistan. The British involvement also contributed to Afghanistan's approach to foreign relations and its desire to maintain independence in the face of external pressures. In short, British influence and involvement in Afghanistan were shaped by strategic considerations, geopolitical rivalries, and the desire to protect British India's northern borders. The interactions during this period have had a lasting impact on Afghanistan's modern history and its relationship with the neighboring countries. The Soviet Union involvement in Afghanistan, often referred to as the Soviet-Afghan War, was a significant event that had far-reaching consequences for both Afghanistan and the international political landscape. The war spanned from 1979 to 1989 and had a profound impact on Afghan society, politics, and global dynamics. The Soviet Union's involvement in Afghanistan was influenced by various factors, including ideological, strategic, and geopolitical considerations. The Afghan Communist government's request for Soviet assistance and the desire to maintain a pro-Soviet regime in neighboring country played a significant role in the decision to intervene. In December 1979, the Soviet Union sent troops into Afghanistan to support the struggling communist government led by President Nur Muhammad and later Hafizullah Amin. The intervention aimed to suppress anti-government factions and ensure Soviet influence in Afghanistan. The Soviet presence led to widespread opposition and armed resistance by Afghan Mujahideen groups who were backed by various international actors, including the United States, Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan. The resistance movement aimed to expel Soviet forces and establish an Islamic government. The conflict had devastating humanitarian consequences, including civilian casualties, displacement, and the destruction of infrastructure. The Afghan society underwent significant changes as many people joined the resistance and the country's political and social fabric was severely disrupted. The Soviet-Afghan War became a focal point of Cold War tensions. The US and its allies supported the Afghan resistance, providing them with arms, training, and resources. The conflict also strained Soviet relations with many countries, leading to international condemnation. After nearly a decade of conflict, the Soviet Union withdrew its troops from Afghanistan in 1989. The withdrawal was followed by continued internal strife and conflict within Afghanistan, leading to the eventual collapse of the Afghanistan Communist government in 1992. The power vacuum left by the collapse of the communist government led to a period of civil war and factionalism. Out of this chaos, the Taliban emerged as a dominant force, eventually capturing Kabul in 1996 and establishing control over much of Afghanistan. The US involvement in Afghanistan has been a significant and complex chapter in modern history, spanning several decades. The US engagement in Afghanistan has included military intervention, nation building efforts, and attempts to stabilize the country after decades of conflicts. The US involvement in Afghanistan was primarily a response to the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks carried out by Al Qaeda group, which has found safe haven in Afghanistan under the Taliban regime. The US government, led by President George Bush, initiated the war on terror and sought to dismantle Al Qaeda and remove the Taliban from power. In October 2001, the US launched military strikes against Taliban and Al Qaeda targets in Afghanistan. The US-led coalition aimed to remove the Taliban regime, eliminate Al Qaeda's presence, and help establish a stable Afghan government. By December 2001, the Taliban regime had been ousted from power and a transitional government led by Hamid Karzai was established. The US and its allies supported efforts to rebuild Afghanistan's political institutions, infrastructure, and security forces. The US and NATO allies continued their presence in Afghanistan with a focus on counter-insurgency operations against Taliban remnants and other militant groups. Efforts were made to promote governance, development, and reconstruction. In 2009, President Barack Obama announced a troop surge to counter the growing insurgency and instability in Afghanistan. The surge aimed to weaken the Taliban's influence and create conditions for the Afghan government to take control. As the years went on, the US and its allies gradually transitioned security responsibilities to Afghan forces. A process of transferring control over certain regions to Afghan governance and security forces began. Despite efforts to stabilize Afghanistan, the Taliban insurgency persisted. The US engaged in talks with the Taliban to find a political solution to the conflict. These talks aimed to achieve a negotiated settlement and bring an end to the long-standing conflict. In February 2020, the US and the Taliban signed an agreement that outlined a timeline for the withdrawal of US forces from Afghanistan. The US committed to withdrawing its forces in exchange for Taliban commitments, including preventing terrorist groups from using Afghan soil. In summary, the US involvement in Afghanistan has been marked by efforts to combat terrorism, stabilize the country, and support nation building. The situation remains complex, with ongoing discussions about the country's political future and the role of international actors. The history of Afghanistan as the graveyard of empires offers us a profound lesson that transcends time and borders. It's a reminder that no foreign power, no matter how mighty, can impose its will on a nation that is determined to preserve its sovereignty and identity. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Afghanistan's captivating history. Remember, the story of Afghanistan is not just about empires, but about the enduring human quest for freedom, dignity, and a brighter tomorrow. Don't forget to press the bell icon and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.